Hello and welcome back to another video, and today finally I am showing off the work in progress MotoGP 2022 mod. I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this. I've been asked all over the place, different places in my YouTube comment section, over on Race Department, on Steam, on Discord, everywhere I've been asked when this mod is coming out and when I'm doing a preview of it. Now, it's going to still be a little while before it comes out because I've been just super busy, so I'm a little bit behind on it, but the MotoGP class is actually complete now, so I can show that off in this video, so that's what we're going to be doing today. You guys always seem to really enjoy these videos every year, so I'm glad that I can finally bring one to you. So if we go New Grand Prix and have a look, that's a little sneak peek there, but if we go right to the top here, starting off with, well, I guess the unmodded stuff in a certain way, but all the riders' ages and their races are updated to the Qatar GP for next year. So some of the riders might not actually have turned the age that's on the screen yet, but it's obviously up to date for the start of the next season. That's how I always do it. So it will be the age at the start of the next season because you're assuming that it's the start of 2022, if you like. So you'll notice obviously the order in the menu has changed because it's based on the championship from this year. So first of all, we've got Fabio Quartararo, unmodded there. Go across to Franco Morbidelli, we'll take a quick look at him, but of course you guys have already seen these exact textures actually in the Project 21 mod, so it's not particularly new ground here. So that's Franco Morbidelli on the Monster Energy Yamaha. Then you've got Pecco Bagnaia and Jack Miller on the factory Ducati, obviously no change there. We've got Joao Mir and Alex Rins, again no change there on the Suzukis. Once again, continuing the theme of no change, and that's actually this entire row, so we may as well just quickly go across them all. So we got Zarco, Martin, Binder, Oliveira, Marc Marquez, Pol Espargaro. You'll notice that there is a mod for the wings, but that's not included in the 2022 mod. That's just another mod that I've got on at the same time. Onto Aprilia, another semi-interesting lineup here. There is actually a couple of things to show for both bikes, so we'll look at Aleix Espargaro first. Basically, the main thing is the fact there's no Team Gresini logos on the bike anymore. It's the only real change. Obviously, there is Aprilia on the front scoop, but again, that was something that was in Project 21. You'll see on the leathers around the back and on the bike, just no Gresini logos to be seen. And then another rider lineup change, Maverick Vinales, but once again, of course, was in Project 21 because it happened mid-season, so we'll quickly go have a look at him. Again, same textures you'll have seen before, just the Team Gresini logos are removed because, of course, they aren't Team Gresini. I've just realised I probably do need to do it on the... No, I thought I was going to have to do it on the helmet then, but I realised actually just as Aprilia Racing. I thought it said Gresini in red there. But there you go, that's the Aprilia Racing team. Next up, obviously LCR. Once again, no changes there, so we'll skip over that. On to the VR46 Racing team. So it's still unknown what sponsor this team is going to have, and I think also with one of the other teams later on as well. It's not 100% known what the sponsor's going to be, but for VR46, it's probably going to end up being Bardol, but I had to kind of base it on what I knew, so it is still the Sky bike at the minute. But you'll also see here that, of course, it's not the 2019 model anymore. It is actually the 2021 bike model. In-game, as far as the game is concerned, Marini does have a 2022 bike, but of course, Bezzecchi has a 2021, so that's Marini, that's his new bike to show off there. The livery is the same as the GP19, just remove the Avintia logos. And then on Marco Bezzecchi, you can see he looks very, very good here. Ignore the heads aren't quite finished, it just gives them Marc Marquez's head by default if you haven't given them a new head yet. Some of the riders that are rookies do have new heads, I just haven't gone through and added them all yet, because it's a pain to try and figure out a head that somewhat looks like them, or you can just use because you don't want to use two of the same head or anything like that. But yeah, that's the Sky VR46 team, or the VR46 Racing team is actually called. Next up then, we've got the two Moto2 protagonists from this year, Remy Gardner and Raul Fernandez on the Tech 3 KTM. So if we go have a look at that, we've actually had a fair few decent photos of these guys, so we know what's going to look like. We've got obviously Gardner with the orange 87 as seen in the Misano, and I think also the Jerez test. I can't really recall the Jerez one, but I definitely remember seeing the orange in Misano because that's where I actually changed it from blue to orange. Still running with the same Red Bull sponsorship on the side of the helmets because that's what we've been doing in real life, so I've kept it on there. And obviously onto Raul Fernandez, same story here. He's got the big 25 on the front of the bike. You can see he actually has got a new head. Also the same helmet as last year, just like with Remy Gardner. Onto the Gresini team now then, we've got Enea Bastianini and Fabio Di Gianantonio. So we'll have a look at Bastianini first. So it was announced initially that it was a Flexbox sponsored bike, that's what it was going to be. I noticed in the tests that they didn't have Flexbox anywhere, and then I also saw that that deal might have fell through or something. So I was a little bit annoyed because I'd already gone through and made the bike, so that's why the bike stays as it is. Potentially in the future, I might change it in a future update or something like that. Well, obviously if they show off the actual livery, I'll update all the actual liveries, but for now it is just going to be the Flexbox Gresini racing bike here, so looks pretty good. Federal Oil on the side, Indonesian Racing as well, so taking some of the sponsors from Moto2. I know they were supposed to be taking Federal Oil, so that's why I did that. And then of course the same bike next door with Fabio Di Gianantonio. Once again with the issue with having Marc Marquez's head. But that will be fixed before release, so don't worry about that. And then finally onto the final new team, the With You RNF Yamaha MotoGP team. So let's go and have a look at them then. So we've got Andrea Dovizioso. So pretty plain looking bike, actually, just a few With You logos, RNF. It's based on the testing livery. It pretty much is just a testing livery but blue. That's pretty much the only difference, to be completely honest. And then there's the RNF suit, which is not actually the suit Dovi used. It is actually the suit that was used by Darren Binder, and I've just adapted it to an Alpinestars suit for Dovi. I wasn't really sure whether Dovi's looked a bit more like a test suit. I mean, this kind of looks like a test suit as well, but I wasn't really sure, and I didn't really get enough good photos of the Dovizioso suit. But I think there is a Dovizioso suit on Race Department, so you can always install that as well if you want. And then onto Darren Binder here then. You can see he actually has got a new head, and the same bike as Dovi, of course, but he's got his own Fury Gan leathers. So that's pretty much it for all the riders. We'll have a look at the teams menu in a minute as well. So across the official teams, so scroll up to the top. So, you know, most of them are unchanged really. There's not really much point looking at any of them until you get down to VR46. You can see he's just got the new bike in the menu. It's the only difference. And then we've got Flexbox Gresini Racing. Or obviously I've removed the Flexbox from the team name because the team name is actually just from the entry list that IRTA released, so that's where all the team names come from. But you can see Gresini Racing, that's the new bike, new leathers as well for the riders. If we have a look at the custom rider, you can see the number projection works perfectly fine. So even though the model is different, the number projection should still work, which is really, really nice. And then onto the RNF Yamaha. Similar story here, the number projection still working, even though the model is now the 2021 model of the bike. As far as the game is concerned, Dovi does have a factory bike, but Darren Binder has what Morbidelli used to have, so the slightly older bike, because I believe that's the arrangement for real life. A little bit confusing times, it's actually quite hard to find the exact spec of bike each rider's going to have, because you'll see one article saying one thing and another saying another. But that's pretty much the MotoGP class. The only really complete class, obviously there is still a couple of things with the heads, but other than that you can see all the liveries are complete. Don't want to drag this video on too long because it would have taken me quite a while to go through all of that, I would have thought, but we will quickly just do maybe a 3-lapper. So I'll see you down on the grid. I'll just pick a random rider, random track, and yeah, I'll see you there. So something I actually forgot to mention is there is some performance tweaks in this mod. So for example, Bagnaia will be a little bit faster than he previously was, just to try and match Quartararo a little bit more. I think I basically took Zarco's base game performance, because Zarco was ridiculous. Zarco has been slowed down, by the way, which you probably would have guessed from the way I sort of explained that. But yeah, so we've got Bagnaia and Quartararo should be a bit more level at the front. I don't know why it's just showing me twice here. Marco Bezzecchi towards the back of the grid, but there you go. Martin should be a little bit better. Actually, speaking of Marquez, I think Marquez is a little bit better as well. So there's a few different tweaks. I should have them all listed when the mod is out, because I have them all written down. It's just I can't remember them all off the top of my head right now. But there we go, they're medium. I suppose it's the right tyre choice to go on. So there is, of course, actually 2 extra riders this year compared to previous. So we're actually down in 24th position for once. The lights hand away, we go over a good start compared to Viñales. Can we try and get past him? We've got a bit of a slipstream off Darren Binder there. Oh, there's a bit of a screen freeze down towards the first corner. Oh, and another one. He's not liking this too much. We've been tapped a little bit by an LCR. Somehow have not come off. I don't really know how. Oh, and the LCR, Alex Marquez, has gone down. So a little bit touching with Alex Marquez there. And he falls off the LCR Honda. Not for the first time. Around the outside of Rins. So we've got Zarco in front of us in 15th, which, yeah, I've not slowed him down that much. That's just he's had a poor start or a poor qualifying, because I should have only made him about as size Martin was in the base game. But we've ran a bit wide there. It's allowed Rins back through. Speaking of people that are a bit far down the order, I'm not sure what he's doing down here, because I've not adjusted his performance at all. So I think it's just because it's so close. I think the pack is so close now that some of the top riders do actually qualify down the order and get stuck sometimes. Let's see if we can try and make a move on Rins. Not quite. Or Rins is going for a move on Oliveira, though. Whilst we speak, can I get the switch back out of here? Good job we didn't high side off that curb, because you can sometimes. Go down towards the hairpin, braking as late as possible. Bit of a stoppy. We're closing to the back of Oliveira. He's kind of holding me up a little bit. Zarco's pretty wide. Can we try and take advantage of that? Well, no, but we have actually got in front of Rins finally. Rins has hit that curb. I think... Oh, I thought he crashed, but he didn't. It looked like he was going to. He's still trying to get the inside. Oh, the rear stepped out quite a bit there. I do find that sometimes when you tip these bikes in, the rear does just not grip. I think that's just the base setup. It's not too good. I thought Rins was going to attack through the penultimate, but then he was thinking about it. He was very close. Let's see. Can we try and get either Oliveira or Zarco down towards this final corner? I think we're probably going to get Oliveira. We actually might get a couple here if we brake late enough at the inside. Oh, I've done a big stoppy. I'm in way too hot here. Actually, I'm not really. Well, Nakagami just fell off. That was his own fault. But we just picked off about 4 riders into the last corner there. Side by side with our teammate. Getting a bit of a slipstream here. Up to 12th place. So it's been a pretty successful start. Around the outside of Paul Espargaro. Can we do it? Not quite. So we're just going to stick behind him for now. We're now at the inside of him. Oh, I might have just knocked him off. No, not quite. We've already had 2 collisions with a Honda that's resulted in a crash so far this race. So if we'd not have another one, that would be nice. Yeah, in fact, both the LCR bikes actually haven't, isn't it, we've hit. So, well, actually, one of them hit me, to be fair. But I definitely hit Alex Marquez. And once again, I've gone in wide. That's the problem when you try and go around the outside of the AI there. You just end up losing the rear and just going straight on. That's what I keep saying that, but that's what I keep noticing with the stock bikes. The rear steps out a lot, which is weird. You wouldn't think it would, but it seems to be... actually, the limiting factor with braking late is actually the rear rather than the front. So we're right on the back of Martin now. We had a really good run there. We'll look at the inside of the penultimate turn. Oh, the rear is all over the place. I went down to first gear that time, so that's why it stepped out. We've got through on Martin's. It seems like it was that section where they're pretty weak, because I was a few tenths behind him. Flicked it through the left, and all of a sudden I was right behind him. So brake for the final turn, then this time they brake a bit more... correctly. Last time they broke so early, it was unbelievable. Can we try and get Morbidelli here? We should do, because we're on the Ducati versus his Yamaha. Even though it's a slightly older Ducati, it should still outdrag the Yamaha, you would have thought. And the slipstream off Aleix Espargaro is going to help. Fastest lap of the race as well. So there we go. Are we going to get up the inside of Aleix? Oh, we're hop, skipping and jumping. We have hit straight into the side of Brad Binder there. That was, well, actually very good for me. It was terrible riding. And that, I do apologise, the racing's not been the cleanest in this video. I'm just trying to get used to the GP19 bike, I guess, because that's technically, as far as the game is concerned, this is, in terms of the handling. This time, alright, there we go. We actually got it right once from 3, and then Brad Binder hit me at the back and crashed. Can we try and get a top 5? There's 2, actually, well, there's 3 Ducatis in front of us. 1 of the same specification of ours, and then 2 2022 bikes. You can see Mir's actually pulling away with Quartararo second, Marquez in third. Oh, I've gone way too hot in here. I was 6 tenths under my fastest lap, but that's probably gone now. Actually, it was 8 there. That's just because I went in a bit wide. We're going to try and pick off maybe one of these Ducatis, and I'm going for it into the hairpin. Completely unintentionally, I might add. Oh. The stuff this game lets you get away with, that would have been a crash in real life, 100%. Not even, it's not even a question. But look at the inside of Anea. If he runs a little bit wider, we might have him, because we were better through this section than the AI anyway. So if he's on a compromised line, yep, we've got him. Bagnaia up next. So all the riders I said had improved don't seem to be doing very well, except Marc Marquez. I'm going to get passed here by Bastianini, aren't I? Going to cut back underneath him on the exit, though. There we go. Back up into 6th. Can we try and get 5th place? I'm using 120% AI, by the way, so I'm as surprised as you that I'm cutting through them this well. But I don't think they're too good in Malaysia. So through the last corner, I think Quartararo's going to take the win away from Mir. Last minute change for the lead. No, I think Mir's just hung on, and we're just going to get 6th place. So not quite 5th place, unfortunately. But that looks super, super close to that last corner. Quartararo definitely went on the inside of Mir. So I'm a bit surprised that Martin was so far down the order, especially compared to Bastianini, to be honest, down in 10th place. But I think that just happens with the AI. Sometimes they have off days. I mean, look at Zarco down in 19th, oh yeah, he must have fell off then. I was going to say 19 seconds off, he's miles behind. See all these riders here, Nakagami, Rins, Marquez, Binder, so both Binders seem to have hit the deck at some point. And then Zark, I think Vinales, like he was the last rider to not crash. There you go then, that is the MotoGP 2022 mod work in progress. So like I said, hopefully it should be out in the next couple of weeks. But do keep your eye out for it. I might maybe do some more videos on this because they are quick videos to make. I know you guys do like them as well. And obviously quick videos is good for me because I don't have a lot of time nowadays, which is why I don't upload too much anymore. But hopefully once this mod actually is released, I should have a little bit more time, and it'll be Christmas break as well, so I perhaps will start uploading a little bit more regularly again in the near future. So I hope you guys do look forward to that, but I hope you guys have enjoyed that video anyway. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.